Independent educational content. Views and opinions are entirely my own and do not reflect the official policies or positions of Akamai Technologies. Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to completely unpack the wild architecture behind modern automated threats and, more importantly, exactly how edge security steps up to mitigate them. We are diving deep into the technical, strategic mechanics of Akamai Bot Manager.
Like the slide says, this is a purely educational deep dive into the platform's mechanics. We're going to explore what this bot management solution actually is, how it gives you absolutely crucial visibility and control, and how it deploys heavy-hitting AI and machine learning directly at the edge.
To properly wrap our heads around this tech, we're going to follow a pretty structured roadmap today. 1. The automated threat landscape. 2. Inside Akamai Bot Manager. 3. Architecture and AI framework. 4. The bot score model. And finally, 5. Invisible cryptographic edge defenses. Let's get right into it.
Part 1. The automated threat landscape. Understanding the scope.
Okay, so let's start by establishing the, frankly, staggering reality of who, or actually what, is visiting your business online today. You gotta understand the landscape before you can build the defense, right? Well, it might completely surprise you to know that automated bots can account for up to a massive 70% of all site traffic. Just let that sink in. The vast majority of requests hitting your servers, eating up your bandwidth, and poking at your applications, they might not even be human.
And look, this automated traffic, it is far from benign. Whether you're running a massive global enterprise or a growing SMB, these scripts are literally working around the clock to drain your resources. We're talking relentless credential stuffing attacks, which is basically throwing thousands of stolen passwords at your login page every single second just to see what sticks. They're hoarding high-demand inventory like concert tickets or limited edition sneakers way before a real customer can even click buy. Add in rapidly scraping your dynamic pricing to give competitors an unfair edge, stealing loyalty points, and just generally exploiting your business logic. Honestly, it's a highly organized, automated assault on your digital revenue.
Part 2. Inside Akamai Bot Manager. The solution.
So, to counter this continuous onslaught, a lot of organizations turn to Akamai Bot Manager. Now, the absolute crucial point here is this tightrope walk. You have to manage the impact of these automated operations without degrading your site's performance or ruining the actual human customer experience. Think about it. If your security slows down your website to a crawl, you lose real customers. So the primary goal here is to give businesses a way to selectively halt malicious bots with zero added latency. It's all about preserving trust and ensuring a completely frictionless journey for your legitimate users.
Part 3. Architecture and AI framework. The power of scale. Now, you might be wondering, how does the system actually know who's a bot and who's a human, especially when modern bots are literally designed to perfectly mimic human behavior? Well, it all comes down to the architecture of the Akamai Connected Cloud and the frankly immense scale of its AI framework. 37 billion. By operating strictly inline at the edge, meaning the physical locations where users first connect to the internet, way out in front of your origin servers, Akamai is evaluating an average of 37 billion bot requests every single day. That is just an unprecedented vantage point into global internet traffic.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why that massive scale matters. Listen, machine learning is only as good as the data you train it on, right? Akamai sees traffic from 1.3 billion unique devices daily, and they are analyzing 662 terabytes of new attack data every single day. I mean, that is an absolute fire hose of clean telemetry. Add to that a record network traffic visibility peaking at 164 terabits per second, plus a dedicated team of over 400 threat researchers constantly hunting down new evasion techniques. All of this creates an ultimate training ground. It allows their machine learning algorithms to become remarkably accurate at spotting even the most sophisticated, never-before-seen bots right from the very first interaction.
Part 4. The Bot Score Model. Real-time traffic evaluation. Okay, so this incredibly rich AI engine ultimately powers a core, real-time mechanic known as the bot score. Think of the bot score as an instantaneous grade that gets slapped onto every single request hitting your site. It takes a really holistic look at things, evaluating user behavior, trying to detect automated browsers, running browser fingerprinting to check if the browser is actually what it claims to be, and scanning for HTTP anomalies, which is essentially looking for unnatural coding patterns. It mashes all these detection triggers together to calculate the likelihood that a request is a bot, issuing a score right there in real time. 0 means definitely human, 100 means definitely a bot. And the craziest part? It does all of this instantly, without adding a single millisecond of latency.
Now, when we look at the bot response strategy interface, you can see where theory becomes actual practice. Administrators use this bot score to set really specific dynamic thresholds per endpoint. So for example, you might set a cautious monitoring action for lower scores or a strict mitigation for higher risks. And you can get super granular with this. You could apply aggressive actions at lower risk scores for your really high-value endpoints, like a login page or a checkout screen, while leaving much broader thresholds for something simple like a search page. It gives you incredible nuanced control over the whole shebang.
Part 5. Invisible Cryptographic Edge Defenses, the Invisible War.
So what precisely happens when a request actually triggers that strict threshold? Like, what does mitigation actually look like in the modern era? Well, the system follows this exact flow. First, the request hits the edge. Second, the AI and machine learning models instantly evaluate all that telemetry we talked about. Third, the bot score is assigned from 0 to 100. And fourth, if the score is highly suspicious, the edge deploys a mitigation. This usually takes the form of a cryptographic challenge that is completely invisible to humans.
What this does is create two incredibly different realities. It's essentially asymmetric warfare. On one side, a legitimate human user with a low bot score sees a completely frictionless page load. No clicking traffic lights, no identifying crosswalks, none of that. But on the other side, a sophisticated malicious bot gets hit with incredibly heavy, CPU-draining cryptographic puzzles. It's basically like forcing the bot to sit down and solve incredibly complex math problems in the background before it's allowed to take even a single step forward.
And honestly, this is the sheer genius of the system. This is an invisible war happening in milliseconds. By serving up that cryptographic challenge, you are literally forcing the bot to spend CPU cycles to solve these minimum time-to-solve puzzles. This slows down the sophisticated bot attack to an absolute crawl. And by doing this, you drastically drive up the attacker's operational costs. Look, hackers are running a business. If you exhaust their automated scripts and force them to burn a ton of compute power, you completely destroy the economic viability of the attack. You just make it way too expensive for them to keep targeting you. They'll just move on.
Conclusion: trust at the edge.
Ultimately, this whole comprehensive layered defense, from that massive AI telemetry fire hose all the way down to those invisible cryptographic puzzles, it all comes down to one absolutely crucial thing: preserving trust in your online relationships and safeguarding your digital revenue from silent, automated theft. So I'll leave you with this final provocative thought to consider for your own architecture. As bots continue to evolve and mimic humans almost perfectly using their own advanced AI, is your edge security learning fast enough to tell the difference? Understanding these mechanics isn't just an IT concern anymore, it's fundamental to protecting your business online. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how your architecture handles the automated frontier.